tá aqui, o Frank Tube. É o diretor de novos negócios. Não, diretor de... Diretor de alguma porra. É o que foi na promo uma vez. Ok. Mentira. Você senta aqui é melhor pra frente.
Tirando a panorâmica da tua sala de apresentação.
Da hora. Começa,
Eu vou sentar e pode deixar que fica
então, aí você... Eu coloquei um papelzinho aqui, você dá uma... Seu melhor jeito. Tá ao vivo já.
E esse tablet, cara? Você...
É o primeiro que saiu, né? Aquele Zoom 1.
Então,
Eu gosto dele.
eu quase comprei esse. Hoje já tá...
Baratinho esse aí. Você nem vende máquina assim. Acho que só vende o 2, o 3.
Cara, mas ajeita esse foco logo, pô. Tá bom essa porra.
Mas, cara, ele vai falar mais embaixo, vai falar mais em cima.
Pera aí. Só.
Foda que o foco tá na cadeira.
Quer que tire? Eu vou lá na boa. Arranca a cadeira dali. Vamos lá. Qualquer coisa fica em pé aqui também, foda-se. Esquece de botar pra gravar isso aí.
Não, já tá. Tá transmitindo. Você entrar no site, você vai ver.
Mas tá gravando?
Então, na hora que você termina de transmitir, você aperta o botão se quer gravar ou não. Aí tem que ser...
Então tá.
Tem que ser cabreiro.
Qual site?
Se entrar no meu Facebook, tem um post com o link.
Eu não tenho Facebook.
Se
Não
você...
sou rede social.
WhatsApp. Deixa eu mandar aqui.
não, tá.
WhatsApp.
Grupo sistema.
Você mandou o negócio no WhatsApp?
Eu vou mandar aqui nesse grupo nosso.
Não tenho Facebook. Se for solteiro, tudo bem. Aí tinha alguma função.
Chegou o perguntador.
Tem um
Chegou o
app.
bacana.
Tem um app pra...
Tem.
É o caminho correto.
E aí, mano?
Boa apresentação. Poder ficar com o
Tá de sacanagem. Pô, fica você. Leva esse moleque embora.
Boa apresentação.
Vai ver.
Tiago, quer alguma pergunta pronta?
Não, precisa não.
Bom, então posso enfiar a faca mesmo.
Pode enfiar. Precisa não. O que você fazer.
Esse slide de gestão de conhecimento, eu posso meter umas aí.
Pode.
No NAC Itacaúx, já que você pegou essa porra.
Pode.
Eu conheço.
Pode fazer.
Você estudou isso no MBA ou na faculdade?
No MBA. Não lembro mais nada, né? Mas...
Por que lembra, pô? Tá usando?
Lembra superficial.
Que interessa.
Não entendi.
Cara, ou viajar mais, não especialista no centro.
Sai pra onde?
Tá joia.
Cara, você já sabia que você ia usar.
É, mas eu quero bicicleta.
Vamos filmar. Tá câmera lá atrás.
Mas não vai transmitir.
Não, vai transmitir, mas vai filmar.
Vai, mas eu não sei o que eles fazem com isso aí. O cara falou que não sabe se vai ficar no site.
Espera.
Sou Joe escreve assim.
Não, com Y.
É sou eu, né?
Não, é Joe a pronúncia, mas é com Y.
Ah,
Y, mas não é com Y, mas acho que é Y, grega, não W.
grega, é verdade. Grega.
Sem mesmo.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
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 I know it's Thursday, it's the last day. It's been a long week, but
Morning.
good morning. All right. Well, we got a couple of presentations, very interesting. First, we got Alexandre here from Argentina. He's going to show us how they implemented the Intergraph tools, how they were deployed. And then we'll have Tiago Alexandre, is that
Yes.
from Promont in Brazil, and how they use the automation layers of SmartPlant P&ID to improve the execution of the project. So with that, we will follow, and we'll have the Q&A at the end of both sessions. All right?
Hello.
About our experience with SmartPlant P&ID and this SmartPlant instrumentation. First, a little review of our company. AESA is an Argentinian engineering service company that belongs to YPF Sociedad. AESA is the only company within the Argentinian market integrated with the engineering contract and service activities, with equipment manufacturing for turnkey process plant projects and operations and maintenance service. AESA has four business units covering every aspect of its wide range of activities, like engineering, manufacturing, construction, and service. One of the main projects that we were involved was gas transmission and LPG pipeline recovery plants, oil and gas pipeline, sales and water storage lines, pumping and compressor stations, facilities for electrical power and transformation, refining and petrochemical processes, waste processing and energy capture. Now you can see some of our main projects. Gas plant for Petrobras Bolivia, LPG recovery facilities for YPF, Karina, Anares, and Cholo facilities for Petrobras, low sulfur gasoil and gasoline project for ANCAP, the Escobar LNG offloading and handling facilities for YPF, and the extraction of Malvinas Energía plant petroleum for Tus Petróleo Perú. Low sulfur gasoil and gasoline project for YPF, and utility separation plant in Rio Grande for YPLD in Bolivia. AESA has more than 50,000 square meters of their own equipment facilities manufacturing. So we are able to perform heaters, reactors, drums and tanks, air coolers, process columns, heaters and filters, and process motors. These are some of our main customers, national and international. And now let's start with our history with the design rules implementation. In AESA, we have been already implemented smart configuration, smart plan instrumentation, P&ID, 3D, and schema.
Bonito, né?
Bom, gostei disso.
So let's start with smart plan
Muito boa
instrumentation
a apresentação.
2007.
Obrigado.
Qualidade.
Our first implementation with this tool was in the low sulfur gasoil and gasoline project for ANCAP. And for this specific project, we had a very specific need. We had to complete 1,300 loop drawings and 300 panel loop drawings. That's fine, but we had to do that in less than 2 months. This was our challenge. We had a limited time to assemble all this information. Information came on 2 different files. First, we got information from the instrument to the junction boxes, and then we get all information for the controller system. connect those different parts. And then, at the end, we got our client and cup, so we deliver all these rows. Here you can see our final result. On the left, the loop drawings, we made that using the AutoCAD extraction. And on the right, the connections diagrams of the panel tree. Now, here you can see some pros and cons of this implementation. The first, really big one, the amount of data processed was outstanding. And with all this information in a single tool, we were able to consolidate this data and perform automated queries and customized views of the database. Some cons. We had to renegotiate with our subcontractors the way that they delivered the information. On the first stage, they were sending the information on our catalogs, and then they had to deliver the information on main files. And we also found that the enhancer report is not user-friendly. We got several issues customizing the indeed blocks of the tool to achieve our customer standards. Now, let's move on to our SmartPlant instrumentation 2009 implementation. There were major changes in this tool. We had to migrate because we are getting out of integral software, and we were facing some new long-term projects. Also, Foundation was already implemented. It was on the 2009 version, so we need to update the database schemas to perform the integration. Some pros of this implementation. The whole discipline uses SmartPlant instrumentation at the default tool. It's very easy to end users start playing with this application. Immediately they began to produce their own knowledge, and in fact this was the fastest implementation in ISO. Execution time was reduced. Performing automated cross-wiring and the upload of information or to the database or a massive instrument creation helped us a lot. And as I said before, the entire instrument information is centralized on a single tool. Okay, that's where we have finished our SmartPlant instrumentation presentation. And then let's move on to SmartPlant P&ID. Our first use of this application was to define approaches. Our goal was to achieve AutoCAD quality goals. Here you can see a sample of our goal. Every details were made with this application. We used the catalog manager to customize every topic. I don't know if you can see, but we made every time inside the instrument add-ons, even the blocks were made with this tool. And how was that? First, we did a technical demo that proves the capabilities. We made a few technical testings and used out-of-the-box symbols with the label. And then we start to test this application. We found an easy way to modify typical style standard, and the extraction of AutoCAD must be improved. We had several issues performing that. We had the help of Intergraph in Buenos Aires, and at the end, we performed our own development to be able to do that on an affordable time. An important aspect is the learning change. The tool workflow allows a quick and intuitive learning curve, but we found that more experienced CAD designers took more time to get used to SmartPlant P&ID workflow. And also we found that there is a different workflow. Engineers had to load block properties. We used an advanced upload of information as instrumentation some difference between standard discipline workflow and SmartPlant P&ID proposed workflow. And we needed to determine which workflow was the best for us. At the beginning, we start with 100% process engineer execution. That is, engineering start drawing the P&ID, and then they put all the information, all the metadata to each flow. But we found that if you put a CAD designer to do the basic sketch, it was faster. So then engineers only had to complete all the information to each flow. So this was our history with the implementation of this tool, and what are we doing now? What's next? Now we are designing the process. We had a complete workflow revision. We had to solve collisions between integrated platforms versus the traditional ways to perform engineering. There are several differences between the way we used to perform engineering and the way that are proposed by Integra. We need to match all these differences to perform an affordable engineering. We also had a workload balance. As you could hear before, the role changes, there are new tasks for each discipline. Instrumentation, process engineer build information in advance, such as instrumentation, are able to perform a faster engineering. And we are defining a new standard for deliverables. The way that engineering were made, we measure our progress of engineering is by a certain amount of drawings or documents. Now, design reviews are very common, so we had to establish a transition between document-based engineering and database engineering. And now we can see some samples of what I'm talking about. On the left, you can see the data input. In this slide, use SmartPlant Foundation as an information driver. The information is uploaded for each discipline using each specific tool. On top of this slide, you can see SmartPlant Foundation working as a document manager. In the middle, you can see SmartPlant Foundation spreading all this information to the different disciplines. And on the bottom, you can see each application performing all the deliverables to be uploaded to SmartPlant Foundation as a document. Now, in this slide, you can see SmartPlant P&ID working as an information driver. Again, on the left, we got the data input, the line list, the equipment list, the data sheets, even the process model. All this information is uploaded to SmartPlant P&ID, and then SmartPlant P&ID spreads this information to the other disciplines. As you can see, on each SmartPlant P&ID revision, you got not documents. You got a whole package of information that spreads to the different disciplines. Now, in this slide, you can see 3D model performing as the information driver. Again, you got all the starting data, the line list, equipment list that is uploaded to the SmartPlant P&ID using each design tool. As the model, as we complete the model, we use this information to be fed to all the disciplines. At the end, you can see the as-built model, and we are ready to perform all the deliverables. So that concludes my presentation. I hope that it's useful to you. And we tell you how we started. We show you where we are. We share with you where we want to go. This is our new scope. We are establishing new ways for developing engineers. Thank you very much.
Okay, now we'll see how Prabhan did the implementation
Não, essa porra não. Não gosto de mão mesmo não. Você fica. Figura, né?
Hi. Sorry?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's the chicken? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to express my full gratitude for you to allowing us to talk to you this morning. It's a great pleasure to be here. And we're going to talk about this very interesting part of our jobs, which is developing and delivering solutions for our dear engineering users. So, regarding the agenda, I'm going to talk about our group, and talking about the situations we face along our project executions, and the practice available on the market of software development we choose to work with and develop our solutions. And then we will show some four of our most important solutions at the SmartPlant P&ID area. So about the Promont. Promont is a 53-year-old company. It is 100% owned by its employees, which is a huge motivation for them to really do the best for the company. We have 1,700 professionals, where about 83% of them are shareholders, and more than 80% are graduates. We deliver two kinds of services. We deliver professional service, such as project management and consulting, and we also deliver integrated solutions, which are our EPC and our EPCM contracts. We had a wide range of actuation. We go since power, oil and gas, and where we have Petrobras. We go chemical, petrochemical, mining, metallurgy. Mining, we have Vale, that's a key client. Manufacturing, where our range comes from, things from car planes to beverages. We have environmental, and mainly nowadays logistics and transportation, where we are having a huge investment from our government because we have two upcoming events. We have the Soccer World Cup in 2014, which is there in Brazil. And we have the Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro City in 2016. Yes. So I hope you'll be there with us. It'll be a great party and we have a lot of celebrations. Well, let's talk about our job. We have faced a lot of situations. I call here issues, but it's more like a situations. Some part of our jobs, some interesting points that we have the user coming to us and asking us to do something. Who is us? Us, I mean, we are the development team. We are the people who take care of the software administration in our company. So the user, the process engineers, they come to us and ask something. Well, one interesting thing they ask is because we receive some documentation for our clients, because sometimes these clients hire another company to do the basic design, the design base, and then the client comes to us with a lot of documentation, and from the process engineers to start with, they start with a lot of AutoCAD drawings and Excel spreadsheets, and apparently they are matching, but we need to put out this information in SmartPlant P&ID and start detailed design. So in order to do that, to put the AutoCAD drawings into SmartPlant SmartPlant support systems. But it's too expensive for us, so we rather prefer to pay our engineers to do that. And to put the Excel spreadsheets data into SmartPlant P&ID, we developed the import utility. Another situation is when the process engineers needs to fill the instrument data. Let's say they click on a valve, and the SmartPlant P&ID provides the whole lots of properties, and the engineers is kind of lost. They don't know what they need actually fill to that project. So we build a form that when he clicks on an instrument, this form shows just the properties they actually needs to fill to that project. If he clicks on a valve, he will just show the properties of that valve. It's very interesting. We got a prize in 2011 for that. Another situation is when we are making the basic design base. And you have to build the process flow diagrams, and you have tables with the streams and their compositions. We made a tool to build these tables automatically. We'll show a bit about that later. Then this next situation, it's far away our huge development. It was really bloody hard to do. This situation we came when you finish the base design, the design base, whatever, and you're going to do the detail project. And you start drawings from scratch. And our client requested that all the information from the streamlines to be at this whole new project. So the engineers will have a lot of work to bring that data into their new drawings. And we developed that they can click on a pipe run and choose whatever stream he wants from whatever project that we have made, and this data will come automatically into this pipe run. We'll show you, man, it's a very interesting solution. This last one situation is when we are developing the Llama. Not Llama. We developed code, and to point dynamic library language into the properties of the instruments or pipelines or everything into the data dictionary manager. So when you're going to use the same development in another project, sometimes you have to recompile the DLL again because the standards change, the requests change. We will show how the way we do, so we don't need to recoding these DLLs again. And this is the thing that I'd like to bring to this conversation, because this is the most developed thing I guess I could bring to you, is the practices we choose on the market of software development that really do a difference on the development of working with Llama. So we looked at the development, the software development market, and we found some of the most most common practices that they apply. They started the waterfall model from the beginning of software development, but this model is kind of risky, and it's not being actually used nowadays. Nowadays, the agile is the new methodology, is the new huge thing. But if you use the waterfall model, it's too risky, because if something goes wrong here, we don't have time in our engineer contracts to review our application. The RB are rationalified process. It's used to build very huge software. I guess Tiago might use something like that to build their technologies, but agile, they're good. And we're not built the banking system, so RP is not good, very good at this situation. Spiral model, on the other hand, requires a lot of management in software development, and we are not specialized in that. Agile, on the other hand, requires a lot of experienced developers, and we don't have that either. We have So, what's the microphone? It's okay, microphone? Everybody can listen? Yeah. Okay. Are you okay? Okay. The agile methodology is very complex to be followed if you are not a software factory, a company or something like that. So the solution we came is to make a kind of mix of from waterfall and agile solutions. I'll show you how this mix works through an example of the party system development we made. There was a user that came to me one time and said, "Oh, Tiago, I have this Excel spreadsheet. I need to get this pipeline information into SmartPlant P&ID. Can you help me to do that faster? Because I waste a lot of time to do that." And if I didn't understand his context, I would start coding. And I don't know, I waste a lot of time coding. But I need to understand this context, because if it is a one-time thing, I just write some VBA or some SQL code and put all the data into the SmartPlant and that's it. But I asked him, are you going to use this more than one time? Yes. We have a lot of projects that we have this need. Okay, so let's think about the patterns or the methodology that they're going to use, because I don't want to do this every time you ask me. I want to do this one time, and I want you to use this for any other project you have. So we built the port utility in a way, this was in 2011, and I've never touched that code again. And it has been used in, I don't know, 5 or 6 projects since then. Because we do with Llama, and doing with Llama, SmartPlant P&ID versions has an upgrade, and our software is still working. It's okay. So I get their scenario, the European scenario, said, give me those files. I'm going to test it. I make this testing, and I present to the user. Well, the user said, oh, this import utility doesn't work. It has a lot of information that failed to be imported. Okay, let me see. There was letters, we're supposed to find numbers. There were blank space. So we reviewed the application to deal with the situation. But in order to go back there, we get the user, let's say, yes, we get the user input again. And then we come back to the design phase again. And I did that a lot of times until the user said, okay, now it's working fine, let's go with it. So this is our development process. Okay. How the inputs are out in XML files, the project parameters, and the project specific conditions. Let's say project name, properties, hooks, symbology, all stored in XML files. Everything that's changed from one project to another, I just changed the XML file and the program will work. The data in this case came from Excel or text files. The environment. The environment is very important thing because we work with 3 layers of development. We have Llama and we have the database, but we don't mess. Oh, sorry. We don't have to with the database. Llama deals with it. And we have another layer that is the interface. And the interface is not has a low token with Llama. So if the user wants to change from Windows Form to a website, I can do that without changing my code. So that's a good thing in working with 3 working layers. You can change your interface. I can put this import utility in an iPad. I can put it in an Android device. it doesn't matter, because it has a user interface detached from our business code. Another thing we did is a trust-driven design. We don't have enough time to talk about test-driven design, but one thing good about the way we did, we oriented our coding to test it. So we write our main function, and if we have something at this point that we need to do it again at this point, I just create a function and call it twice. It's okay, no big deal. But I do not stop coding to build this function. I just write a stub to provide the data that the function is supposed to provide. Continue to code, write a stub again, and then we finish. So if the test goes okay, then I write the function. With this, I keep my focus on the core development, and I can do it a lot of way faster. And I can reach the engineering time to get the development before the time goes. All right? With that, I got reusability and user-friendly interface. Because one thing that I don't like is when we finish some form and we find, oh, this is a very huge and interesting situation. Let's show it to the user. And we showed the user the solution and said, this is not good, could change the button, change that. And said, oh my God, if I change all those things, I will spend a lot of time. Well, with this detection thing, I can change anything in the form, and I always no time to do that. It's very simple. And of course, profit. So that's it. That's the geek part of the presentation. There is this, now I'm going to show you the solutions we achieved. This is the port utility at the first time in the city. We can put Excel files here. Once the Excel file is loaded, we choose a spreadsheet, and the assistants read out the spreadsheet and get the file from data, the equipment data, instrument data, anything you want to insert to SmartPlant P&ID. So the XML files dictates which data will be to each property of at the system. So if you change the project, if you change the customization, if you change the client, we don't need to change the code, we just need to change the XML file. I'll show a video if you got time at the end of the presentation because I want to show you all the solutions. This is the form we're talking about when you want to fill instrument data for a valve, let's say. In this case, it's a flow information controller. Here's a fluid stage. It's in Portuguese, I'm sorry. Fluid stage, wherever you fill this place, SmartPlant P&ID inserts into the process operating.norm.fluid stage property. It's just an example of the XML file. Okay, and the data user puts manually and hits record, and then he clicks on another instrument and goes to fill. And I've been told that they save 40% of the filling data of the instrument time with this application. 40% of time saving. It's a very nice thing. This micro-utility is very funny because they built this. Oh my God, there's equipment here, okay? There's 3 equipments here. They build the process, and then they hit the button, and this table appears automatically because the tool goes through the diagram, read the strings, and for each string, you put a column here with their data. So it saves a lot of time, just saving time utility. Oh, where? How do you tell the software where you want to put the table? There is this config button. The user chooses wherever he wants to put the table. And if it's config button, the user also chooses the symbol he wants to use and the space in between it. So we don't need to do anything with the coding again to use it on the program. If the size of the paper changes or anything changes, we just need to change the actual file, and you can do that using the user interface design. Get foreign data utility. This See, you have a P&ID open, and I have a pipeline. User clicks on this pipeline, and he chooses a project, he chooses a drawing, he chooses a pipeline, he chooses a pipeline item type. It's a type of thing he wants to look at into the other project. And here is the stream. He selects the stream. The stream data appear here. He clicks on the pipeline, and he gets the data. So the data from the other projects for that line comes automatically into this new project. Got that? I can do this with any object, with any project. Well, how does the software know that I want just discrete properties? This is customized at this button. You press this button, and it opens an interface that we can see all the properties from one project, all the properties from another project, and I just choose the properties that I want to match, hit a button, this is mapping, and once this is mapped, I can use it here. Very, very easy to use. That's all, that's why we had to show you, and it's up to you. You want to see a video of some of this development, you're going to see it. If you want to, there are 3-minute videos, it's quickly. If you have questions, it's about you. 5 minutes? Okay. Okay. So, what's going to be 1, 2, 3, or 5?
Which one you want to see? Just pick one. We got time for one.
The last one.
The last one?
The last one?
Yeah.
It's because it was fun.
Yeah.
See. Okay. You want me to talk or do you want me to talk?
No, you need to talk.
Exactly. I guess I need to talk because it's no longer. Are you here?
No.
No, just talk.
Okay, I'll do the talk. All right, here. The user is me, I think. We are selecting some project. We select this TAP underline PFD project. I asked him to search to look into all drawings and look for pipelines. And the filter would be string number equals 01. So you find them, it brings 2 runs. Now the drawing name is test. Okay. So I got this current property open, and with that line selected, I hit set active icon. He collects the properties that is mapped for between this project and that project I chose. So the current attributes from this line are those. And this current selected line has no data. When I hit import, it brings the data. So if I click in, at the SmartPlant P&ID, it's a little fast. Did you see the data?
Yeah.
Okay.
We trust you. We trust you.
Okay. Here's how we do the mapping. We got the source project. It's a lot of properties. And this is the current open project. This is the source project. So I'm mapping the norm temperature, process operating norm temperature with that. I think it's the same thing as the other project. It's not the same name, but it doesn't matter. And I'm unmapping another property. Click it, refresh. See, there's another property mapped here. I can choose. I can put the same property as I want. That's it.
Yeah. We have about 5 minutes for questions. Questions for
Yes. It's another plant. Yeah. Just another plant. We start the base design, and then in a plant, then we start a new plant from scratch and start the detailed design there. You may ask, why did you get made a copy? So you're at this field, because one PFD turns out into 5, 6 P&IDs, and the users prefer to do that from scratch. It's their choice.
Anybody else?
Of course.
Of course.
First of all, thank you both. Congratulations both for the presentation. You mentioned that you are implementing SmartPlant Foundation. Did you get any results so far with population-enriched functionality in the engineering department? Yes, we already use SmartPlant Foundation for the integration, and we already create some. Are you listening now?
Yeah.
And we already create and modify properties, new properties, and again, do the mapping through these properties. It was very easy to us to perform this customization. There's a property comparison. We use the mapping tool we are able to convert the data. That's your question? Yeah. You're doing data comparison between different properties and different tools. Actually, we do that on the application. We map the different properties, but we have to check that on the application.
Anybody else?
You got one question, so I'm going to try this to the team or not.
Pretty close.
But are you doing the same like kind of value using external files? How do you do it? How do you do it? You like share space? Do you like it in external files? Do you use it?
Who's using it? Not me. All right, if there are no more questions, I'd like to give a round of applause to Tiago. And thank you guys, very impressive. And I'll see you around later. Enjoy the rest of the 2-hour conference.
Deixa ele parar essa porra, esse negócio é complicado.
Ô, Tiago, liga o microfone. Falar besteira aí, só tu não ouve.
De conversar. Legal que ele chama. Tá gravando. Deixa aí. Igual que ele chama a atenção, assim. O pessoal fica esperto.
Falei pro amigo dele que tá atendendo. Ele faz aí ele tem uma que ele faz, leva a possibilidade de criança, ele não tem muita responsabilidade. Então ele se sofre.
Mas esse tipo de saco aqui já
Fica mais
solto.
Um negócio mais.
E aí, tá melhor?
Agora tá hã?
Ele que faz um barulho legal.
Isso aí.
Osaldinho, bom.
Não, agora tô melhor.
Agora tá. Isso aqui é bom demais.
Que dia que Denas me derrubou.
Oi?
Que dia que Denas agora me derrubou.
Derrubou, foi?
Ontem, a hora que tava acabando, fui pegar o último. Tinha uma.